Hello, Reform UK! It's so good to be back in Birmingham, and what a year it has been. Just look at what we've achieved together. In 14 and a half months, Reform has gone from 14% support to 35%. From being dismissed as outsiders, well, if you're going to applaud that, let me tell you this, from being dismissed as outsiders, we have now led in 100 national opinion polls in a row. We've gone from no branches in the country to almost 500. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nigel Farage is the bookmakers' favourite to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. You know, on May the 1st, we delivered what can only be described as the most historic set of local election results in our lifetimes. Across English towns, villages, and cities, Reform surged. The century-long stranglehold of the two old parties in British politics was decisively broken. And suddenly, there was hope again for our country. And let me tell you, this is just the beginning. Because we're on the brink of drawing to a close a tragic era in this country's history. An era in which British people have been made second-class citizens in their own country. An era in which those who have played by the rules their whole lives are robbed by the state to pay for those who break them. An era in which a single mum works 2 jobs and struggles to find the money for rent, yet an illegal migrant who arrives on our beaches uninvited is put up in the house next door at her expense. An era in which our young people are robbed of opportunity at every level, from jobs to housing. An era when clueless politicians inflict the highest energy costs in the world on British people through the mad net zero religion. An era in which those who set their alarm clocks and strive are squeezed, crushed, and demoralized. Well, that era will shortly come to a close. The era of British decline will soon be at an end. Thanks to your hard work, soon we will see Nigel Farage take to the podium at number 10 Downing Street, and he will usher in a new era of prosperity for the United Kingdom. To do that, we must start with securing our borders and restoring our sovereignty. That means ending the tyranny of foreign courts and stopping the invasion of our country. Things have become intolerable. The fact that the UK has still not even left the ECHR is to the eternal shame of the political class. An illegal immigrant from Iraq named Asso Mohammed Ibrahim, driving while disqualified, killed a 12-year-old girl in a hit and run. He left her dying under the wheels of his car and fled the scene. The poor girl's father had to make the heart-wrenching decision to turn off his daughter's life support machine hours after the crash. And yet the most senior judges at the Immigration and Asylum Tribunal prevented her killer from being deported, citing Article 8 of the ECHR. Her grief-stricken father gave a statement to the BBC, and I want to read it to you. You work hard, play by the rules, pay your taxes, and this is how you get treated. What does that say about politicians, our leaders, and the legal system? It's a joke. How can he say he's deprived of a right to a family life? The only person deprived of a family life is me. Amy was my only family. They're obsessed with the rights of others from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Where are my human rights? And do you know when that was? That was in 2010. 2010. The Tories had just begun their 14 years in power. They promised to deal with this. And yet here we are, 15 years on. Many more have been killed, raped, and robbed by people who came to this country illegally. But I promise you this, when Nigel becomes our Prime Minister, gone will be the days when your rights are trampled in service of foreign citizens. Under a reformed government, His Majesty's Parliament will be sovereign, and the rights of the great British people will reign supreme. For decades now, successive Tory and Labour governments have promised, right? They promised to get tough on illegal immigration. And yet, year after year, tens of thousands of fighting-age males have arrived on our beaches. We know the United Kingdom is being invaded. In fact, more people have arrived on our beaches illegally over the last 8 years than stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. And they have been rewarded for this by a treacherous political class that puts them up in hotels at the British taxpayers' expense. They're given free meals, free healthcare, free TV licenses, and even free trips to the safari park and to the cinema. Even those who commit heinous crimes are routinely defended by so-called human rights lawyers who succeed in preventing even convicted rapist illegal migrants from being deported from this country. All thanks to a legal system that prioritizes the rights of foreign citizens over our own. Well, the patience of the British people is now exhausted. We are unwilling to accept that Britain's border should be open and undefended, unwilling to accept that Britain must surrender its sovereignty to foreign courts, unwilling to accept that our own veterans who served our nation with valor and distinction be evicted from their homes to house fighting-age males from Iraq and Afghanistan who turned up on our beaches uninvited. This is a national emergency, and it's time to put the British people first. And that is why, upon winning the next election, a reform government will launch a 5-year emergency program to track down, detain, and deport all illegal migrants in the United Kingdom. Operation Restoring Justice will be the most transformative policy of our lifetimes. Now, some have already called our plan draconian. Here's our response. Britain is being invaded. Thousands of fighting-age men from countries that despise Britain continue to arrive on our beaches. Our plan is the only appropriate response to a national security emergency. It will also immediately stop the boats from coming, because it's going to send a clear message that being in our country illegally now has an ironclad consequence: immediate removal. Deportation is the ultimate deterrent. As Prime Minister, Nigel will direct every instrument of state to ensure illegal migrants are removed from this country. We will pass the Illegal Migration Mass Deportation Act. And let me tell you this, the draftsmen who have worked on this legislation were given a clear and strict instruction that when Nigel is Prime Minister, there will not be a judge in the country that will be able to prevent a single deportation flight from leaving. We will leave the ECHR and repeal the Human Rights Act, replacing it with the British Bill of Rights. We will create a legal obligation for the Home Secretary to deport everyone in the country illegally and disapply all international treaties that are used to keep illegal migrants in this country. We will grant sweeping powers for the Home Secretary to detain illegal migrants, and we will pass a law that makes clear that if you come to this country illegally, you will never be granted asylum. End of story. We will create a new agency, UK Deportation Command, who will relentlessly track down and detain those in this country illegally. We will build capacity to detain up to 24,000 illegal migrants at a time. That will enable us to deport up to 288,000 illegal migrants a year. No chance of bail, no chance of absconding. Detention will mean deportation. We will embark on the most audacious charter flight operation since World War II, ramping deportation flights to 5 departures every day. And to guarantee success, His Majesty's Royal Air Force will keep a Voyager aircraft on standby as a hot spare. So even if a plane has mechanical issues, flights will not be stopped. Deportations will not be delayed. And beyond our shores, our Foreign Office will act with the urgency of a nation that's determined. Return agreements will be secured. Countries of origin will take back their nationals. We will offer financial incentives. But where the carrot fails, we will use our leverage. If a country refuses to take back their illegals, we will stop issuing visas to anyone from that country. And if necessary, we will sanction them. So I think everyone in this room, we have a message today for those in this country illegally. Enjoy those perks while they last, because when Nigel's Prime Minister, UK Deportation Command will find you, they will detain you, and they will deport you. Now, even just over a year ago, talking about what a reform government would do in power would have been met with scorn and laughter from the chattering classes. Reform had just one MP, and the first-past-the-post system supposedly meant start-up insurgent parties like ours could never challenge the two-party system. The odds were long. But thankfully, we have a leader who kind of specializes in beating long odds. He beat the odds in surviving a plane crash. He beat the odds with Brexit. He beat the odds with the banks. He beat the odds by securing 5 seats last summer. And soon enough, he will defy the odds again and become the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Now, some will say all this can't be done. They said the same when Britain stood alone in 1940 when we stared down tyranny and defended the free world. They said the same when our sailors ruled the oceans, when our inventors sparked revolutions in science and industry, and when our explorers mapped the globe. They said the same when this island of ours raised its flag on every continent and gave birth to the greatest commonwealth of free nations the world has ever known. We are the land of Newton and Churchill, of Shakespeare and Rowling, the land that gave the world the rule of law, the English language, and the miracle of English common law. But today I say that for all of our rich history, our best days are ahead of us. Make no mistake, we are living through history being made in this country. In 100 years' time, they will study this chapter of British history. Children will be taught of prime ministers who allowed for our nation to be invaded and forced hard-working Brits to pay for it. They will learn of Tory politicians who lied time and again to the British people that they'd control immigration and then did the opposite. They will learn of a political class that betrayed its own people. They'll learn of a Britain that was besieged. But I believe they'll also learn about something else. They will learn that something remarkable and astonishing then happened. That just as has happened so often before in British history, the British people stood up and said, "No, not on our watch." I see a Britain in the future which has secure borders. I see a poised, powerful Britain which celebrates its history and looks forward to the confidence in its future. And I see a Britain that defends its values and cherishes its culture. I see a Britain which rewards hard work and takes the knee to nobody. I see a Britain in which, after having paid taxes your whole life, you can go to the hospital and be seen by world-class doctors and nurses at once. I see a Britain in which our young people can not only afford to move out of their parents' house, but one day they will be able to buy a home of their own. I see a Britain which puts British people first. And this is no pipe dream. This is now truly on the cards. Just look around you. So British people, young, old, I say this: it's time for us to stand up and write the next chapter in our great country's story. It's time to put the needs, the hopes, the dreams of British people first. It is time for reform. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.